Okay. All right. So find yourself in a comfortable seat, whatever that might be, cross-legged or kneeling. Oh, there we go. And wherever you are, start to root your sit bones, the tops of your feet, whatever's touching the ground, into the ground. And start to grow a little taller from your roots. Feel like you're being pulled up by your ears by little fairies. Really lengthen through your neck. Relax your shoulders down. You can add a little bit of shoulder rolls here. We work out a little bit of movement before we get settled in. And start to land here on your mat. Let your focus go inwards. Let go of your awareness of anything that's happening around you, any thoughts from the day, and start to feel. Feel what it feels like to be in this incredible body of yours that brings you through your life, through your days. And start to feel some gratitude for just how incredible your body is and what it can do for you. And just notice how it feels right now. Maybe some areas of a little stiffness or tightness, or areas that feel loose or open. And start to take some deep breaths. So we're going to let go of all of our air. And then inhale through your nose and see if you can fill up your belly and your rib cage as you widen outwards. And exhale out your nose. Continue to take nice deep breaths in. And see if you can direct that air into your low back, any areas you feel are restricting movement, and see if you can bring in some expansiveness into your breath. And I invite you to do some ocean breathing with me. So your hands are going to come out in front of you. And as you inhale, let your arms expand outwards. Like they're filling up a giant balloon you're holding between your palms. And on your exhale, start to bring your hands closer together, almost touching. Moving those arms with your inhales and exhales. See if the quality of your hands matches the quality of your breath with softness and fluidity. And notice the pulsation of this ocean breathing. Kind of like a jellyfish. Continue to breathe. And I just want to share with you a little metaphor that my instructor, Ian, was talking about recently in a course I was taking with him about the whale. And just like the thoughts in our head often are full of chatter, right? It's going on and on about the day, what I should have done, what went wrong, the to-do list, this and that. And it's kind of like the turbulence on top of the water on the ocean. But the whale, it's amazing how it can dive deep down into the water, and it's only in the quiet deep that they can hear themselves talk to each other and really be able to listen. So during practice tonight, my offering to you is to see if you can harness that feeling of the whale diving deep into the ocean, letting go of all the chatter, and really being able to listen to what's important going on in your body tonight. Take one more big inhale. And exhale, let go. And we're going to start to let our head rock and roll from side to side. Get some movement going in your neck. Notice any tight spots. And maybe linger there for a little bit, breathing into it. Giving your muscles permission to relax and let go. Your shoulders to get heavy. Then bring your head back to center. Let's lift our arms up. And as you inhale, your arms are going to open up wide. Maybe you come behind you as you stretch through your chest. Then exhale, turn your thumbs down and bring your hands forward as you round your spine, kind of like in our cat position. Inhale, thumbs up, open your arms behind you. Exhale, thumbs down, round your back. Then a few more big inhales. So you can find a little bit more movement in your rib cage. Exhale. Like your thoracic spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And last big inhale, open up. And this time, bring your hands together behind your back. Interlace your fingers and squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you. Broaden in your heart. Breathe into the expansiveness in your chest. And then releasing those hands, shake it out. Whew. All right, if you're sitting on a pillow or a prop, let's come off of that and come onto our hands and knees into a tabletop. All right, a few more cat-cows as you exhale around your back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and your tail. Feel your spine move through its full range of motion. And let your intuition guide you here. What feels good in your body right now? Maybe add in some side to sides as you breathe. Maybe make some circles, whatever feels good right now. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And on your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. So you're in your tabletop. Let's see if we can keep our stability here and reach your right leg behind you. Notice if your hips start to shift to the left and sort of come back to that neutral position. Turn your toes down to the ground. And you kind of want to inwardly rotate your inner thigh. So your right hip drops a little bit, so you're nice and flat. And float your opposite hand, your left hand forward. Give yourself a thumbs up. Nice. We're going to inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, bring your elbow and your knee together to touch. That's it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach nice and long. Bring the back of your neck up to the sky. Exhale, squeeze. Last one, inhale. And exhale, lower. Let's come into the other side. So reaching your left leg behind you this time. Toes are down to the ground. Make sure that left hip doesn't rise up too far. So if you put a water bottle in your low back, they would balance there and not roll off. And flow your right arm forward. Take a big inhale and reach in opposite directions. Exhale, squeeze. Elbow and knee to come together to touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. That's it, moving like the ocean with fluidity. And squeeze on the exhale. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, lower. Nice. From here, let's walk our hands forward, but keep your hips high. And come into a puppy dog. So you're starting to bring those armpits down to the ground. Maybe your forehead touches the ground. Opening up through your shoulders, your lats. And as you breathe out an open mouth and sigh out any stress from the day. Let it drop down into the floor. Take one more big inhale. And really big sigh, an open mouth. And slowly start to walk those hands back in. And this time, we'll sit back on our heels. Let your knees come wide. Feet together. And we're going to do a hula hooping camel. So this is all about how it feels and not how it looks, all right? So we're going to take one hand behind us. And as you inhale, let your hips come forward. And reach your other hand behind you. Opening up through the front of your body. Exhale down. We're going to come to the other side. Inhale, lift, leading with your pelvis. And then exhale down. There's no right or wrong. Just make it feel really good in your body as you move with your breath. You can add a little bit of a back bend here. And one more time each side, just exploring this movement. And then the last one. Awesome. Bring yourself forward into your downward facing dog. So let's spread those fingers out wide, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. Bending one knee at a time, stretch out those calves. Whatever feels good here. Get any movements that you need until you can come to stillness for a few breaths. And make sure when you're in your down dog that your fingers are spread wide. Your pointer fingers and your thumbs are pressed firmly down, so you're protecting your wrists. Your shoulders are wrapped down and back, so you don't want to feel like they're crowding up. Let your shoulders relax, even though your arms are above your head in this shape. And your knees can be bent. The idea is you want your spine long and your tail up towards the sky. So if you need to bend your knees to get there, that's great. And then only then maybe lengthen through your legs and try to bring your heels towards the ground for a full expression of this shape. Take one more breath. And then we're going to walk our hands backwards towards our feet. Take your time. Maybe bending your knees a lot. And grabbing opposite elbows, just enjoying this forward fold as gravity tractions your spine. Maybe a little rock side to side. Shake your head yes and no, let go of your neck. And then when you're ready, bend your knees a little bit more and start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Bring yourself all the way up, nice and tall. And take a big inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down to your heart center and to your sides. Awesome. Another big inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Bring your hands all the way down to the floor. And we're going to walk our hands forward to that downward facing dog again. And from here, we're going to ripple forward to the top of a push-up, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, come back to your down dog. We'll do a couple more of those. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, down dog. And then one more time, ripple forward. Exhale back. And this time, ripple forward. And we're going to lower down to our belly. So feel free to bring your knees down to the ground first, or simply lower all the way down, nice and slowly. Untuck those toes. Roll your shoulders back. Bring the back of your neck up towards the sky. We'll do a couple baby cobras. So as you inhale, feel your chest off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Using the strength of your low back. And exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. And you can stay here or push your hands into the ground and lift up a little bit higher into a full cobra, keeping your hips sinking down into the floor. Relax your shoulders down. Making sure you feel like you're coming forward and up rather than crunching into your low back. Take one more big inhale. Then exhale, lower all the way down and push back into child's pose for a few breaths. Toes together, knees wide, and let your hips just sink down. Breathing down into the floor. Let your arms get heavy wherever they are, either in front of you or by your sides. Let your forehead be supported by the ground. And this is a great place to come to anytime if you need a break or just need to recenter. And we're going to come back into our tabletop, and I'll just turn this way so you can see me a bit better. Take your left hand, and we're going to inhale, lift it all the way up to the sky. So a nice twist from your spine. Exhale, we're going to thread it through between your other hand and your knee, but not all the way yet. Big inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it through. Here we go. Big inhale, reach up. And this time, as you thread it through, bring the back of your hand, your shoulder, and the left side of your head down towards the floor. For a nice gentle stretch, you might feel it in your torso or your shoulder. And use your right hand to push into the floor for a little bit more of a stretch, or this right hand can start to walk overhead and back to go a little bit deeper if that feels good for you. Good. Inhale, lift yourself back up, bring your left hand up to the sky. And this time, as you exhale, bring your left hand out to the left. Palm down, shoulder down, and still that left side of your head down towards the floor. This time opening up through your chest and your bicep. So again, the more you twist, the more you're going to feel a stretch. So option to push your hand into the mat or the ground, or walk it up overhead if that feels good for you. Good, and inhale, bring yourself back up. We're gonna go to the other side now. So right arm inhales up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale through. A big inhale. This time, exhale, bring the back of your hand, your shoulder, and the right side of your head down towards the floor. And breathe here. Good. As you press down with your left hand, inhale, right arm up towards the sky. And exhale, right arm to the right this time. Palm down, shoulder down, and the right side of your head down towards the floor. So again, finding that nice stretch in your right chest and biceps. Twisting a little bit more towards the left for a nicer stretch, or a deeper stretch. And inhale, lifting it up. Awesome. Coming back into that downward facing dog. Lift those hips up nice and high. And this time, inhale, right leg high towards the sky. Square those hips, toes pointing down towards the ground. Let's inhale, lift that leg a little higher. And exhale, bend your knee. Bring your knee towards your nose, shifting your shoulders over your wrists. Good. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, knee to nose. This time, lift those hips high and see if you can step your foot between your hands. Making sure your feet are on railway tracks. So your right foot is towards the right of your mat, your left foot's towards the left. You're on your back toes. And inhale, rise all the way up to a high lunge. Exhale, sink down into that front leg. So a little check-in with your body here. If you're feeling wobbly, it might be because your feet are on a tightrope. Make sure they are on railway tracks. Okay, your left hip is slightly forward, your right hip slightly back, so you're square. Tilt your pelvis underneath for that stretch in your flexor. So you can bend your back knee a little bit and then lengthen it. And bend into your front knee for a deeper stretch. With your arms, take a grasp of your left wrist and inhale up and over to the right, really opening up through that left hip flexor and the left side body. Then inhale, reaching up. And exhale, left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Nice gentle twist here. Really engaging your back leg, kicking your left heel backwards towards the wall behind you. Take one more big inhale, lift up a little higher. And exhale, swim your right arm forward, bring your right hip back into a pyramid pose, keeping that right knee nice and soft. And if this is quite intense, maybe if you have a block or a prop, you can have that under your hands here. Or you can even bring your back foot in a little bit more. Breathing into your right hamstrings. With every inhale, the crown of your head reaches a little longer. Exhale, maybe come a little deeper into this shape. Good. Take one more big inhale. Then exhale, plant those hands and step your right foot back for a downward facing dog. Let's inhale, ripple forward to your high plank. Exhale, lower down. Maybe your knees come down first, then your chest. Inhale, let's do a cobra. Opening up through the front of your body. And exhale, lower yourself down, push back into a downward facing dog or child's pose for a few breaths. Wherever you are, we're going to do a lion's breath. So you're going to take a big inhale, and then on your exhale, you're going to stick out your tongue and breathe out through your mouth. Nice. We'll do that again on the other side. Let's take a big inhale with your left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Square those hips, toes going down to the floor. Equal weight in both your hands. Big inhale, lift your heel a little higher. Exhale, bend your knee. Bring your knee towards your nose as your shoulders shift over your wrists. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Lift those hips high and step your foot, if you can, between your hands. It is not just hold that leg alone. Inhale, rise all the way up for a high lunge. And exhale, sink down. So again, do a little check in. Make sure your feet are on railway tracks. Bend your back knee, pelvic tilt, and then lengthen through your back leg so you feel that stretch here in your flexor. Bend into your front knee for a little bit deeper of a stretch. This time grabbing your right wrist, inhale up and over. Breathing into that right side body. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale, right hand finds the floor, left hand to the sky. Nice, gentle twist here. Really engaging that back leg still. Take one more big inhale. And exhale, swim your left arm forward, left hip comes back for a pyramid pose. So again, keeping nice softness in that left knee. You can bring your back foot in a little bit if this is quite intense. With every inhale, grow a little longer in your neck and your spine. And every exhale, maybe coming a little deeper into the shape. Remember, there should be no sharp or electrical pains. It should be a nice tension in your hamstrings, the back feeling. Good. Take another big inhale. And exhale, plant those hands, step back to your downward facing dog. You're gonna ripple forward on the inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, push back to a child's pose or downward facing dog for a few breaths. We're gonna do our second lion's breath wherever you are. Taking a big inhale and then stick out your tongue. Let something go. Good. If you're in child's pose, come back to down dog. And we're gonna inhale. Our right leg up towards the sky. This time, bend your knee and then open up your hips towards the side wall. Maybe you see your right toes underneath your left armpit. See if you can bring your knee a little higher. Nice. Good. Inhale, lengthen through that leg. Square your hips. And exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Shift those hips nice and high. And see if you can step your foot between your hands once again. This time, lower your back knee. Then we come on up here. So now we're really getting into those left hip flexors. Good. See if you can sink your hips down to the ground. And then bring your hands to the inside of that front foot. Maybe walk your right foot to the side of your mat. I'm going to give you some options here. If you want to get more to your right hip, you can flex your right foot and let your knee drop out towards the side. So making sure you're keeping that right ankle nice and strong. Okay, so that'll start to feel really good in your hip. Make sure that your right foot is about as far forward as your shoulders. If it's too far back, it's not going to do much. Okay. Option to stay here and start to walk those hands forward or elbows come down. Or you can bend your back leg, grab your ankle, and turn it into a bit of a quad stretch. This is my favorite, but not everyone can reach their ankle, so that's okay if that's not available to you right now. All right, do what feels good in your body. And wherever you are, start to melt down towards the floor. Breathe into any tight spots and give them permission to let go. Our breath is a powerful tool. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips. If you start to feel things bubble up, that's okay. Just breathe through it and let it move through you. If you have your ankle, let's release that now. Start to walk yourself back up. And this time we're going to let our right foot walk over to the left side of your mat and come into a pigeon pose. So options here. If you're quite tight in the hips like I am, you can tuck your foot in, point your toe. You just want your hips squared down towards the floor, so the top of your back leg is down towards the floor. If you're a little bit more open, you can flex your ankle and bring your shin in line with the top of your mat. But same thing, you want those hips squared so that your the top, your thigh can be down towards the floor. Wherever you are, don't worry if it's not perfect. You just don't want to feel any pain in this front knee. Okay. We're going to take a big inhale. Lift your chest up. Then exhale, start to walk yourself down. Maybe your elbows come to the floor. If you have a proper pillow, you can use that for your forehead, so you can let your neck relax. Or if you don't have that, you can stack your fists on top of each other as a pillow for your forehead. Start to breathe into your ear. You can stay here for a long time. We're going to start to walk ourselves back up again when you're ready. Move your prop. Spread those fingers wide. Tuck your back toes and lift yourself back into your downward facing dog. Maybe shake out your hip. And anything go. And then we're going to come into the other side. So big inhale, left leg high towards the sky. This time we're bending our knee and opening up to the left side. Maybe notice your left toes under your right armpit. And wherever you are, bring that left knee a little higher. And see if you can reach your right heel towards the floor. Relax those shoulders down, away from your ears. And then inhale, lengthen through your leg. Square your hips. Exhale, knee towards your nose. Lift those hips high. And step your foot between your hands. Lowering your back knee to the ground. And then again, when you're here in this kneeling position, make sure this front foot is forward. So it doesn't, if it's too close to you, you're not going to get a good stretch. You want to come forward so you have that room to move your hips forward and then sink down. And still notice that my knee is over my ankle. Right, from here, really breathe into this hip flexor. And let those hands come to the inside of that front foot. You can walk your left foot to the side of your mat. And you can stay here. If this is enough, this is great. Or you can flex your left foot and let your knee drop out towards the left and start to get into that left hip. Same option, maybe start to walk your hands forward here. Maybe your elbows find the floor. If you did so on the other side, maybe you bend your back leg and grab your ankle. You get into your quads as well. Wherever you are, you're breathing in to any tightness and letting it wash away. So what can you release here? What can you let go of? And when you're ready, slowly letting go of that ankle habit. Walking your hands back under your shoulders. This time we're going to heel toe our foot across to the right side of our mat and come into our pigeon on this side. So again, choosing your option that's right for you, whether it's tucked in or parallel to the top of your mat. Wherever you are, see if you can rotate your hips so they go down towards the floor. Okay. And be mindful of your knee over like that. Hide any props from pets that wander in. We'll take a big inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale, start to bring yourself forward and down over your leg. Maybe making a pillow with your two fists stacked on top of each other, or using a proper pillow. And start to sink down. Release any tension in your jaw. And start to walk yourself back up when you're ready. Spread those fingers. Tuck your back toes, engage your back leg, and step back to your downward facing dog. Maybe moving your hip around, let go of anything that's bubbled up there. And we'll move through our last sort of vinyasa flow here. So as you inhale, ripple forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower down all the way or halfway to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Opening up. And then exhale, float back to your downward facing dog. And this time, we're going to walk our feet halfway up our mat. And then find yourself gracefully into a seat, however you want to get there. And I'll turn sideways so you can see me a little better. We're going to bring our legs out into a wide straddle. Okay. So this can look different for everybody. The important part is that your toes are pointing up towards the sky, so not folded in or back. And we want our pelvis to be either neutral or starting to tip forward a little bit. So if you are quite tight here, you might feel yourself rounded back. What you can do is have your hands by your hips, and that can help lift you up and start to let your pelvis start to tip forward. Okay, if that's good, stay here. Or if you have a little bit more space, your hands can come forward. Maybe they walk forward a bit more. Maybe your elbows, you can find the floor, or your chest, wherever you are. Start to come down this way. Breathing in to your inner thighs, your hamstrings. Feel free to add a little bit of movement too. Remember, it's not about being stiff or looking a certain way. This is all about how it feels in your body. I always find it feels good to sort of move side to side here as I settle in to the shape. So nothing wrong with that, if that works for your body too. And then inhale, start to walk those hands back in. And we'll bring our left hand to our left shin. Inhale, right arm up and over. So maybe your hand is just hanging out here. Maybe you can reach your toes. Wherever you are, let's rotate our heart towards the sky. Inhale, lifting up, and we'll come over to the right. So right arm comes this way. Inhale, left arm up and over. And then rotate your heart towards the sky. Breathing to that left side body. Finally. Better hide my thought. Inhale up and over. And let's help our knees in. So grab under your knees, give yourself a little bit of support as you come on in and let your legs shake side to side. A little shake, shake, shake. And then from here, we'll bend our left leg and cross it over top of our right. And give your knee a big hug. So you want to pull your knee across your body. You can stay here with your leg extended if you're like me and have, again, tighter hips. If you have the space for it, you can tuck that bottom leg underneath as long as both your sit bones are still on the ground. And then taking your left hand behind you, inhale, grow nice and tall. And exhale, twist over your left shoulder. Rinse out the day. Massage those organs. And your next inhale, come back through center. And uncross those legs. Give them a little shake. And we'll come into the other side. Right knee bends. Cross it over top. And give your knee a big hug. So again, keeping this left leg long and engaged. Or if you want to, you can tuck it underneath. As long as both your sit bones stay on the floor. And then your right hand can come behind you, in whatever expression you're in. Inhale, grow a little taller. And then exhale, twist, looking over your right shoulder. Every exhale, see if you can rinse out a little bit deeper. And then on your next inhale, unwind, come on back. Uncross those legs. And we're gonna roll down onto our backs. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug and maybe a little rock side to side. Massage out your low back. And then let your knees drop to one side. So you want to keep both your shoulders on the floor. If you like a deeper twist, you can lengthen that bottom leg, making sure not to kick any animals. And use your right hand to sort of pull your left knee across, or whichever side you're on. Or simply keep those knees stacked. You start to let go of doing and start to bring in more being right now. All the hard work is done. slowly start to bring your knees back up to the center. And then over to the other side, choosing your option, whether your knees are stacked or if you lengthen that bottom leg nice and long to come into a deeper twist. Breathing into any areas of tightness, whether that's your chest or your hip or your back. Start to melt down. Slowly bringing those legs back to center. There's another shape or movement that you're really craving. Now's the time to do it. And if nothing comes to mind, my offering to you is happy baby. So knees are in. You're going to bring your feet towards the sky. See if you can grab the outside of your feet. Pulling your knees to your sides, down towards the floor. And then make sure that your sacrum, your low back, is on the floor because it'll have a tendency of lifting up. So we're going to find a nice long spine. And then feel free to play here. Maybe you're still, maybe you're rocking and rolling a little bit. And lengthen one leg at a time. Really bring in that quality of being a happy baby. Childlike wonder and playfulness that we definitely need more of in our day. And then when you're ready, slowly letting go of those feet. Let your knees come in and then start to bring your feet down and lengthen for our final shape of the night, our Shavasana. Letting your feet come as wide as your mat. Take up space with your arms. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And start to sink down into the floor. Relax your jaw, maybe your mouth part slightly. Find softness in your belly. And let Mother Earth support you. We'll be here for a few minutes. Bringing awareness back to your breath. Feel free to stay here for longer if you need to. Start to come back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe you reach your arms overhead for a big full body stretch. And hugging your knees into your chest. And rolling onto one side. Taking your time before coming up into a seated position. Take a moment to bring your hands to your beautiful heart. And think of one thing that you are truly grateful for. You have so much to be grateful for. Especially when things seem at their worst, that's the best time to open yourself up into gratitude. And thank yourself for showing up tonight and sharing your breath. So wonderful to share this with you tonight. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week.